guys. I'm going to be showing a video in just a little while, but I'll just shut this up off right now. Yeah. Okay, so how many folks have been to a Hopkins boot camp? Okay, you want to definitely get his book, How to Master the Art of Selling. I'm not sure. Tom's getting, he's getting on with his age now, and he's still doing them, but I'm not sure any more time to. Years he's going to do boot camps, but he helped Sue and I, and a lot of the people in here that raised their hands on how to overcome objections. And an objection is just pretty much people just need more information. That's all that is. And there's nothing wrong with an objection. It's actually a good thing when they object, because they're interested. It's just they don't have the information yet to make a decision. All right, and so that's why when we go through the things we went through and what Dean went through up on stage, it's so important, because even recruits have objections, and so he was helping the new recruit with answering some of the questions, some of the concerns that new recruit has. There's a lot of you in here that have objections still, and that's why you're not getting this thing going. Okay, if those objections are answered, then there's really no excuse why you can't get this thing going. So most of you, if your districts, if you don't have any objections, then you could easily do like a 10 by 2, easily, because you'd be so passionate about why you're doing this business. And so when we have these meetings, we have people come up and talk about some of the things that have happened in their lives. Like Dave, he came up here and talked about what just happened like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and what happened about 6 or so months ago. If you're really a passionate person, that should have got you. That should have tugged you on your heart, because that's what we're here for. We're here for the money. Yes, money's good. We're here for recognition, all that. But the biggest thing why we're doing this, I believe, is so that we can help our fellow man.
Yes.
So we can really help people to have a better life themselves. We have had the opportunity, now we've stepped in the opportunity to change our lives. Now we're just trying to finding ways to help other people. And some of us, we do a good job, and other of us, we have to learn to do better. All right? And so these meetings are important so that you can take your first steps in business the right way. Now understand that we all come from all different backgrounds, all different, things that have happened in our lives, and so we get into this business, and sometimes we say things. Now, who was the person who just asked? Now, is there things that we shouldn't say? Who was it that asked that? Okay. Yeah. And we call, and what Hopkins calls them is scary words, fear words. Okay? Yeah. There's glamour words, and then there's fear words. And if you've ever gone out yourselves and you've gone to look, say, for a TV, or whatever, or let's just say a car, okay? So you've gone to look for a car, and you're on the lot, and someone comes running out, or actually, you see them in the sort of like in the window, and they're like giving each other high fives, and then one comes out, you're going, what's that all about? Okay, so I think I'm going to be sold something today. And so that right there, just that gesture was a gesture of fear to a person that was looking to buy something. Right? Would you say that?
Yeah.
All right, that body language, or another one would be, when they're running out towards you. And they're like, right? That's scary. But we are the same way in how we approach people. It's just different. And so, that causes fear to us that are looking for a car. And then for those that are in this business, when you're talking about, I do this thing, it's like insurance, but it's different. You know, it's causing fear in somebody.
Yeah.
Or I'm so excited about my insurance business right now. That's causing fear. Okay, and why does that cause fear? Because generally, in the past, people that came to your door, this might have happened to your parents more than you, they'd come to the door and knock and ask for the monthly collection of the insurance policy.
Right.
All right, and every once in a while, your parents would sit down with this person, and after a couple hours, then there was more money they were paying out, and you probably heard them go, "Oh my word, this guy's killing me." All right, because they saw it as not a good thing. And so we have to deal with that. So when we go and we sit with people, or we're making a phone call with them, we don't use those words. Yes, we sell insurance. Yeah, we do. But our insurance doesn't, it's like about, what is it, maybe 8 times less than the average whole life policy. But they don't know that yet.
Right.
So when you want to say insurance, they think it's the same thing. So you need to say things differently. I have a program, or I'm here to help you. You know, I'm excited about a business I just joined. And I don't know if I can, you know, I just want you to look at it, give me your opinion of it, things like that. You know, it's less intimidating. So there's different words. You want to learn this, like a glamour word. Instead of like pitch, I have a pitch I want to show you. You know? Okay, a glamour word would be a presentation. And then op meeting, for the longest time, was what we used, and we still use that. But you may want to just say something like a Tuesday night business briefing, or something like that, okay? I have a business briefing I want to invite you to. Our business is expanding out in this area. I'd love to show you what we're doing. Okay, less intimidating. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when you're out there and you're about ready to make a phone call, write down your script. Write down, maybe you have a script already, but you know, put it in your own words, and not to a point where you sound like a insurance person, or you sound like a salesperson. A salesperson sounds pushy, right? Okay? Now you have something that'll change their life, but you got to do it in a way where, you know, you're not trying to give them a haircut over the phone. You're just trying to get an appointment. Yes.
How you can be a really good follow-up without making the other person feel you are pushing him, like to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
like to balance following up, but at the same time, the person next to you are pushing him to.
What is your name again?
Sahar.
Sahar?
Yeah.
Sahar?
Sahar, yes.
Okay, so Sahar, you know, the reason why I'm calling you is, you know, when we first sat down, when I first called you, or when I first met you, whatever the situation is, you know, I saw a lot of potential in you, and it seems like your personality does really, really well in our business, and I just don't want to let that go. So I apologize if this feels like I'm pushy. It's just that I just see the potential, and I just can't give up on you. So I just want to let you know what's going on with the company a little bit, and I know that you love what you do right now, but there may be a time in your future where things may change. I just want to be there if that happens. So do you have a problem with that? Okay, so if I call you, say, this time next month, would you have a problem with me calling you? Okay, all right, great. Okay, so that's how you do it.
Boom.
All right, and you want to make them feel special.
Yeah.
So how do I make you feel?
Special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so everyone, and you want to be truthful, okay? You know, if this person that you're calling, you know that they're never, I mean, their people skills, it's like, for them to even actually make it, you may have to work on it for 10 years. Okay, you're not going to say that to them. You know, maybe they're more of a client situation, something like that. But you're always trying to find a compliment there, compliment them. You know, you're always looking for the good in people, the positive part in people. You know, all of us have challenges. All of us have different things we got to work on. You don't got to like work on, tell them about that stuff. But you know, if there's a potential, like I always look at everyone in this room as a diamond in the rough. Have you ever seen a diamond in the rough? It's just a piece of coal. It's just a hard, black piece of rock. It's just rock. It's just, you know, there's nothing to it. It's just there's no form, and that's about it, you know. And in order to chisel down, this is what the great jewelers do. They chisel it down to where they find a diamond, and then they start working on that. And that's where you start seeing all the facets. The more facets, the more beautiful that diamond is. You know, and so you're finding a diamond in the rough, and when they get in this business, I'm not sure how much chiseling you gotta do and how much work you gotta do to bring that diamond out. But whatever that is, if you know that this person could be a Rick Susie, or a Mike Sharp, or a Hector Lamarck, or it doesn't, you know, whoever, okay? The names that I'm mentioning are multimillionaires, but they were all diamonds in the rough. Then it really doesn't matter how many times you call them, as long as you let them know that you think they're a diamond in the rough. Okay? So we've learned all this stuff from Tom Hopkins. How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. Okay, and out of that book, there's a chapter on fear, which is so good because that's something that we all have a problem with. You know, I stems way back from our childhood, I'm guessing, but fear can paralyze us. And it can paralyze you. Now, this guy here, he's been breaking through all those fears. Now, you have fears?
Of course you do. Sure.
But you've been mastering that fear by just doing it anyways. Okay? And so if you just keep doing what you're supposed to do, and you're making those calls, even though they're scary to do, you actually, the fear kind of subsides. It doesn't go away, but it gets out of your way. Because you're on a mission. Fear can look like this wall right here. Now this wall is, I think, about 8 inches thick to the other side of the wall. Okay? But fear isn't that thick. Fear is as thick as the paint on this wall. You bust through this paint, you're busting through fear. Fear is just an illusion. We think it's this wall. There's no way you can bust through this wall. It's concrete on their side. But with fear, if you just do what you don't feel like doing enough times, it gets out of the way. It gets out of the way pretty quick, actually. If you start making 1 or 2 phone calls, it's getting out of the way. You're feeling better about yourself. You know, as much as you were nervous, what's your name?
Andy.
So as much as Andy was nervous, you know, with making those phone calls, you made 6 or 7 of them. And after what, about the 3rd one, you felt pretty good?
Actually, after the second.
Okay. But what did you feel like before the first one? Like, oh my word, oh, freaking out. But that's my point. Okay, so it gets out of your way pretty quick, but it stops you, and that's what stops most people from even making 1 phone call, is that fear. Okay? So let's go over this. So Tom Hopkins, there's 5 attitudes towards failure. And a lot of you have heard of these. There's a bunch that haven't, so that's why I'm going over this. But if you can write these down, I never see failure as failure. That's how it always starts out, the 5 attitudes. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. And he says in here, every sale that doesn't close is a learning experience. Every challenge you face is a learning experience. Look at failure and rejection in a different light, as a learning experience. Now, we've been raised in the school system to make you think that an F is like the worst thing. Like you are an F student, you feel like crap, right?
Yeah.
Okay? But in business and in success, you have to be an F student for a while.
Yep.
And that's the thing we got to get over, is yes, you're going to fail, but you can fail forward and get better. You may fall on your face a few times, but how fast can you get up after that failure? And a failure could be, you made your first phone call and you said all the scary words, all in one sentence. And then you hear a click on the other end. All right? Now, if you didn't have a coach, you didn't have a system, you didn't have someone that could actually keep you accountable, you go, man, this doesn't work.
Right.
Okay? No, it's just that you didn't learn, you haven't learned yet what to say. So you have to fail forward. And that's an okay thing, that's good. Feel good about it. How many other people in your life is doing that? How many people in your family and your influence are doing what you're doing right now, trying to get better? Probably nobody. So you're doing something that most people aren't willing to do. You keep doing that and getting better, you're going to live a life that most people want to live, but they'll never live that. So the first one is, I never say failure is failure, but say it back. Yes, I want you to remember these. I want you to memorize these. I'd like for you to get that book if you can, because you memorize these when you're in an appointment and something just happened to you where you just, crap, I didn't close. Or something, you just go, okay, oh, I never see failure as failure, but only as learning experience. Okay, I need to understand what the learning experience is here so I can move on. So you're not beating yourself up, you're learning from your mistakes. When you make that phone call and you get a click on the other end, oh crap, okay, it said something, did something that I shouldn't have.
Yep.
So what can I learn from this? Don't beat yourself up, learn from it. Get better. Number 2, I never see failure as failure, but only as a negative feedback I need to change course in my direction. So I never see failure as failure, but only as a negative feedback I need to change course in my direction. So he says, he has this little example. Outside a restaurant, I once saw a gentleman who had had too much to drink try to unlock his car with the wrong key. No matter how many times he tried, the key didn't work. After I talked to him into taking the taxi home, it occurred to me that sometimes we keep trying to make the wrong key unlock the doors to success. Keep using techniques that don't work, or we keep using techniques that don't work in our selling endeavor. And so you got to take that as a negative, that negative feedback that you just got, okay? You got to use that to change course in your direction. Okay, if something is not working, then take that as a clue. I got to change a little bit. I got to change my presentation. Our presentations have been designed to be very, very simple. Because most people, they've never sat down with a financial services kind of guy, an advisor. Okay? So we're trying to keep it like rule of 72. That's really simple.
Right.
But if we start adding to the rule of 72, and we start making it more complex, now you're going over people's heads.
Yeah.
All right? When you start doing that, that's when you start losing people.
Yeah.
You got to stay to the basics. Stay to the reason why you're there. You know, keep on that topic. Don't get off topic all the time. Okay, that's when you stop actually closing business. So
Mark,
take
will
the
you
negative feedback that you just got to change course in your direction. Did I have a question?
No, I was just asking you to repeat that. You just did, so thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it again. I want you guys to say it back to me. So I never see failure as failure, but only as a negative feedback. I need to change course in my direction. So let's say that together. I never see failure as failure, but only as a negative feedback. I need to change course in my direction. So if you can own that, you guys, it's huge. Huge. This will go not just with his business, this will go with anything you do in life. So the things that we're teaching you here, you can take with you, and this becomes a life skill. You that are single, okay, when that gal says no, all right, that was a negative feedback, you better change course in your direction.
Recruiting skills, baby.
So number 3, I never see failure as failure, but only as an opportunity to develop my sense of humor. I never see failure as failure, but only as an opportunity to develop my sense of humor. So he says, have you ever had a traumatic experience involving a selling opportunity? 3 weeks later, you finally tell someone about it, and suddenly that same event is hilarious. The longer you wait to laugh, the more that failure will hold you back. Make a determined effort to laugh sooner, and learn the trick of telling a good story on yourself. Have you ever been in a situation, some of the veterans have done this, where you'll be out there talking to somebody, and all of a sudden they just say, no thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
You haven't even said what it is.
Right.
I'm not
No
interested.
thanks, I'm not interested. No, I'm busy. And they just walk away. I mean, you could have like,
Yeah. Not interested.
hey, you want to pick that up? Oh, no. No, there's a gotcha, you know, right? I mean, you gotta laugh, you guys. It is actually hilarious. There are things people will do, either get off the phone or not want to talk to you. And why do they do that? They're afraid that you're going to try to sell them something that's not good for them. But you have something that actually, thank you, Rafi, that's actually going to change their life if they're willing to sit down with you. We just need to get better with how we approach people and how we say things. That's all that is. All right, but there's some really hilarious situations that come up. I mean, like, even like where the husband doesn't want to sit down at the kitchen table. You know, so here you're just talking to his wife. You know, he's off like watching his game. Like that's going to make him financially independent, right? No thanks. I mean, there's some funny things. There's a guy that Sue sat down with that he lived in a mobile trailer, like a mobile home. He had a big screen TV. And he did not want to sit and listen to Sue.
Wow.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we laugh a little sooner? And laugh a little bit more than we have been? Don't take things so serious. Because there's always fun in everything you can do, you know.
In the beginning, you'll be laughing most of the time.
That whole time.
Okay, so let's repeat that. I never see failure as failure, but only as opportunity to develop my sense of humor. So how many folks can think about some of the things that you've done so far and you can actually start laughing about it, right? Yeah. All this stuff is like super funny.
Yeah.